Strange but true stories. Tales from the light side, the dark side, and the other side. I'm Steve White. The room suddenly went dark, and then there was light. It all started when I was 10 years old. My family had moved from the East Coast to southern Kentucky about a year before. My father had gotten a job with a large international company that was headquartered there. My parents decided to build a new home rather than buy an existing home on the market. This all started after we moved into our newly built house. My bedroom was housed over the garage. It was a long rectangular room with slanted ceilings, with a door at the very end leading to a long straight hall, which led to my parents' bedroom. My bed was on the opposite side of the room to the side of the large window that was directly over our garage door. My father had a hobby as a woodworker, and he had crafted me this small toy farm set with a barn, silos, tractors, some blue felt representing a pond. I loved it, and my father made it for me, and I absolutely cherished it. I'd fall asleep watching it. It was just a really amazing and soothing sight to just watch as the moonlight would shine through my window and then hit my little farm set, creating some shadows on the floor. I also had 2 skylights in my bedroom that were on either side of the slanted ceiling. They were small, but it allowed me to see stars at night. We lived in the middle of a small town, so light pollution was non-existent. On this particular night, I was looking at my toy farm set as I tried to fall asleep. It was a Friday night, and I was looking forward to the weekend. My mother and I were going to go out shopping, and on Sunday, we usually would get a couple of movies at our local Blockbuster. As I watched the bright moonlight cast itself on the farm set, it started to quickly fade. At first, I assumed a cloud was passing overhead, but it quickly got so dark I could barely see anything in the room. It was as if someone had, shot the moon out of the sky itself and just switched its light off. I turned on my back to see if I could see the stars through my skylight. Nothing. And then this sphere of light appeared in front of my door leading to the hallway. It was between the size of a tennis ball and a softball. It had soft edges as if it had a slight haze to its appearance. It was white in color, but it cast no light on any surrounding object or wall. I was startled, but very curious. I couldn't understand how this light wasn't illuminating anything near it. I laid in bed for about 20 or so seconds and just watched it. I thought about getting out of bed and going over to check it out. Before I could, it started to slowly move, and its movements didn't seem natural. There was no momentum to its movements at all, and it moved in perfectly straight lines. It slowly moved until it would hit a wall, and without losing momentum, it would bounce off that wall and move towards another. The static movements reminded me of the old video game Pong, where the ball would bounce in a mechanical way from one paddle to the other. It moved as if scanning around every part of my room, except the half that I resided in, and as it did so, it started to pick up speed steadily, moving from the ceiling to a wall, to a corner of the room, to the ceiling, to the side of the room, quicker and quicker, until its movements were almost too hard to track. That is, until it moved directly centered above the molding of my bedroom door, and then it stopped. Not 3 or so seconds later, it darted from that position directly towards my head, and I flung my comforter above my head in fear, and I laid underneath it for a moment. After a few moments, realizing nothing had hit me, I gathered some courage and threw the comforter off me and bolted across the room as fast as I could. I had Lego pieces all over the floor. I was so scared and panicked, I swear as I ran over them, I didn't feel a thing. I bolted out of the room, not seeing the light as I did. I ran out the door, down the hall, and flung the door open to my parents' room with a loud bang as it hit the wall. My parents were startled, of course. They quickly asked me what was going on. And I explained what had happened, and my parents told me to, just sleep in their bed for the rest of the night. They never turned on the lights. They seemed to shrug it away, and I lay down and instantly fell asleep. This is a point of contention that's always bothered me, as I was not in any state of mind to be at ease enough to sleep. and I had previously had trouble sleeping just moments before when I was calm. I didn't experience it again, but I never stopped thinking about it. And when I was a freshman in college, I was talking to a friend when the story came up. He mentioned how his family had a history of seeing orbs and taught me about spirits and such, showing me some pictures of what appeared to me as dust caught in a camera's flash. This isn't what I saw. What I saw that night will forever be burned into my brain. I continue to wonder what it was I actually saw, and would love to hear if anybody has any thoughts on it. This has been another strange but true stories. So, what do you think? Anybody have any insight on any of these 3 stories? Similar stories, different people, over a span of many years, different parts of the country. So tell us and them what you think in the comments below. And if you have a story you'd like to share with us, send it to us in an email to strangebutTrueStories2@gmail.com. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you'd like to support us in another way, we are now on Patreon. A link to sign up is provided in the story description. Thanks for all the support and all those who have signed up with Patreon so far. And thanks for watching this video. I'm Steve White. Until next time.